Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. As you can see, hopefully, I'm not in the Kingdom in the Moorlands anymore. I've come away with my wife and 2 daughters. I thought I'd make some travel EDC content. So these are the things that I bring away with me, whether it's business travel or whether it's travel away with friends and family. But hopefully it just gives you some suggestions. Traveling can be quite thing for lots of people. They find it quite traumatic, which is strange. It should be very easy. So hopefully there'll be some hints and tips today that should make traveling a little bit easier for you. We're here in the room where the magic happens in the evening. Don't tell Mrs. Moorlander. And I've tried to lay everything out, so we'll go through these, what I carry and the reasons why I carry each of them. Now the first one is a bag, and I know if you're a fan of the channel you'll have seen this bag a lot. This is the Eastpak, the one bag. And what I do is I carry this with me at all times whilst I'm traveling. The main reason is that you can wear this as a shoulder bag and then still be able to get a backpack over this. So things like my passport, my keys, my mobile phone, my wallet, I'll keep all of that in here. What you'll probably pick up from a lot of this, especially between these 2 bags and another one which we will have a look at, is keeping things compartmentalized. The beauty of this is that I can keep all of my valuables, my passport with me at all times. Super useful as well if you are doing city breaks. Again, I've talked in the past about things like pickpockets and thieves, that sort of stuff. If you're keeping your mobile phone in here, then it's great because it keeps it close to your chest. Another beauty of this as well is the fact that if you have your mobile phone in here, something happens to the plane and you have to get off the plane quickly, or maybe you're in a taxi, you have to leave the taxi quickly, you can have this on you at all times. The reason that they tell you to leave whatever it is behind is because they don't want you to disrupt the flow of people getting off the flight. So a big bag like this, you'll have to go into the overhead compartment to get it, whereas something like this you can keep on you whilst you're flying the whole trip. And should you need to decamp from the plane as quickly as possible, then you can still keep this with you. Whilst everybody else is struggling at the embassy because they haven't got the passport with you, you have yours safe and sound. These are absolutely amazing, incredibly useful, and also very cheap as well. I think these are about, say, 15 to 20 pounds, which is roughly $15 to $20, 15 to 20 euros. The next, or the larger bag that I tend to carry, would be something around the 25 to 30 litres bags. This one here, this is from Code of Bell, and this is the X type. Haven't made any content on this yet, so don't worry, it's in the works and will hopefully be done as soon as I get back from holiday. But I also tend to go for bags that will have 2 compartments. Again, as far as being able to compartmentalize things, I think it's incredibly useful to help save time whilst doing checks going through security. One of the biggest things with security is the fact that they will make you take all of your electronics out of your bag. The beauty of this is, with it having a front section and a rear section, I can put all of my electronics into one, and I can keep all things like my books, my entertainment, maybe a spare jacket, whatever it is, then I can keep that in the other section so that they're separate. One of the biggest choke points for anyone, and I know certainly that people have anxiety, is going through security checks. So if you can make it as easy as possible for you to be able to take your electronics out and not have to worry that you've got to, get past something else to then be able to find that. It's all about trying to make things as easy as possible. Plus, because you might have somebody behind you, some businessman who thinks that he's worth more than the value of your time, that you're taking too long. A lot of that's kind of where some people's anxiety is, that maybe they're taking too long. So you open it up, you take out your electronics, you put that in a separate tray, you pass it through, you get it, you come back, put your electronics back in there, and then you can move away. Really nice as well. I will be making some content on this, yes, when I get back. And plus, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, so you can also put a bottle in on the side there. Whilst you're on planes, keeping hydrated is super important. Really does help with things like jet lag. So having water with you at all times definitely helps.
Now there is another bag on here. Actually, there is another cheeky bag over there from Able Carry. Always testing, you know, I'm always testing. So my daughter brought that one along. She travelled with that one and absolutely loved it. But there is this third bag here. So this is again a bag that I know you guys will have seen a lot of. This is the Bushcraft satchel from Helicon Tex. If it is that we're going to a water park for the day, or I'm travelling and I need to carry a little bit more, I'll take that. If we're going down to the beach, I know spending the day around the pool, maybe going for a wander around the market, local village, anything like that, this is the one that I take with me, and I absolutely can't recommend this bag enough. It's just the right size. It also has a shoulder strap, so if you're in a hot country, where I'm at the moment, it's about 34, 35 degrees, which is way too hot for a Moorlander like myself, but Mrs. Moorlander, she loves it. Keeping the bag away from you or not on your back, carrying it as a satchel like this is great. And it's just the right volume as well. I can fit just as much as I want into here as well. Another little cool tip with this is, although I realise I just shouldn't have closed that, is on the inside of this pocket here, I keep one of these Magpul DACA pouches, and it fits in there perfectly. If you look where this seam is, what that enables me to do is put some of my valuables into here as well, just to make sure that if somebody does manage to get in there, then there's a second zip that they have to get into. This is also waterproof, so if I'm going down to the beach or I'm going to the pool for the day, then I can put my stuff into here and not have to worry about it getting wet. Very useful and a brilliant combination. I absolutely love that bag. This bag and this bag I carry more than any other bags that I've got. I've probably travelled with this one and this one more than I've travelled with any other bags. They're absolutely amazing. Now when it comes to being abroad, I like to keep entertained. I bring a rugby ball with me because, well, you know, people that play games with egg-shaped balls are far superior to people that play games with spherical balls. It's just a fact of life, and people just they refuse to admit it. But I always take a rugby ball with me. Me and my daughters play rugby around the pool, on the beach all the time, and also take a pump with me as well, so you know I can pump it up. Books. Good to take books because they're always useful and never run out of battery. When it comes to batteries and potential of running out of batteries, I take some dice with me. There's a lot of dice in here. Me and my daughters and my wife, we play a lot of different dice games. And also have the Uno, because nothing destroys a family evening like a good game of Uno. And these are the best Uno cards that I've found. So these are they're made from plastic, see-through plastic. The beauty of that is you can get these dirty, you can get them covered in food, you can get them covered in suntan lotion, you can get them wet. In fact, if you get them covered in whatever they're covered in, you can run these under the tap and you'll be able to clean them. And they also come with this little handy clip as well, which means that whenever we want to play them, we always know where they are and they're always together and there are none missing. With these other bags, I carry this Uno set with me all around the world. It's possibly one of the most well-travelled Uno sets that are out there. Now, it's not all old-fashioned. I do have some electronics with me as well. This is the Books. I always forget what it's called. So I'm just checking. It's the Books Tab Ultra. I use this a lot for work because I can take notes, I can do some illustrations with the clients that I'm with, but more importantly, if I want to read some books, then you can read PDFs with this, and if you're not happy with the layout of the PDFs, you can also rescan them and it will turn them into more of an EPUB, and then with that you can then change the layouts, you can change the kerning, you can change the there's a lot that you can do with it. Or because I'm a massive comic fan, then what I can also do is I can read some comics. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer that it's always in black and white, but if you grew up reading manga, then you're really not going to be that bothered that you can't read it in full colour. But yes, absolutely love this. When I'm not reading and I'm wanting to do something a little bit more fun, Then I do have my, what is this? This is the, why have I gone blank for a second? This is the Steam Deck, and this is the new OLED version. Love this. I can sit for hours on the plane playing with this and certainly not having to worry. The only consideration with this obviously comes down to the battery, but I do have a couple of battery solutions with me as well. So as far as my tech pouch, now I mentioned with the backpack that it's good to be able to keep things separate. And I always carry a tech pouch with me so that, again, I can pull this out and I can keep things separate from other items. This one from Lockbee is awesome. So it's got two zips. On this side, I can keep all of my wires. I also carry a wired headphones with me as well, because I can definitely say that these are amazing. These have never run out of battery, as with my daughters always tend to be losing battery on those. But there's two sides to this, so you can open it on that side and then you can open it on this side as well. And on this side, I carry two batteries. This is a Nightcore battery, which is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. Great for charging the camera that I'm filming on now. It will charge my mobile phone at least twice. And then I also have this, which is a 20,000 milliamp hour battery from Static. And this will charge something a hell of a lot more. So when it is that I'm gaming with this, I'll have this plugged into that to make sure that I've always got some juice. But again, if you've not considered having something that you consider like a tech pouch like this, very useful in the fact that, again, you're going through security, you want to need to pull things out, then you can pull this out. And generally they'll allow you to scan this as it is rather than having to take all of the individual components out of this. Now, when it comes to other types of charging, I highly recommend these bringing with you. This is something that I kind of worked out a few years back doing on sites with my work. So you go to Europe, you take with you your European charger adapter, or you go to the US or Asia and you take one of those adapters as well. And then, I don't know, maybe you've got, say, 2 or 3 of these. So whoever's in the house, whether they're charging the phone, whether they're, I don't know, doing their hair, whether, oh, Dad, I can't do my straighteners, kind of thing, then you're always fighting over these. Instead, bring 3 or 4 of these. These are great. You have to use these because, you know, you're abroad and it's a different plug over there. But instead, also bring some of these with you. So these kind of plug banks. I bring 2 of these with me pretty much everywhere I go, especially if it's for family. So with these, hopefully you can see I can fit 3 plugs into there, 3 UK plugs, and then there are 6 USB ports on this. That way, with these all being fast charge, I can make sure that just with one of these adapters, I can keep several things being able to charge at one point. Also, you know, as we like to help out our fellow man, if you see that other people are struggling, then you can whip this out and you can help other people to charge at the same time. These are super useful. If apart from different bags and being able to keep things compartmentalized, this would be one of the biggest pieces of advice that I have, is just get one of these. I picked this up from Amazon. I've got 3 of them in total, but I only always travel with 2 of them. Very good. The other thing would be one of these charging adapters that you can get from this. This is from Anker. So with this one, instead on the side here, hopefully you'll be able to see that there are 2 USB ports and then there are 2 USB-C ports. These are also fast charge ports. There's a 20 watt and then there's also a 45 watt on this side. Again, so rather than just taking your one mobile phone adapter, which with one of these only one person can charge the phone at once, you can charge 2 or 3 different items all with just this. Well, actually you can charge 4 different things just with this one this one adapter here. Super useful. Now I did go past some extra bits, and this is another useful tip. I suffer with gout, depression, so there's a couple of bits of medication that I have to take, and I always make sure that I keep this in my in my small bag here, so that it's always with me, and if anything gets lost, then it will always be with me, and I've got my medication. Also, everybody loves the Sudocreme. Being sat on a flight for several hours, getting sweaty bum cheeks and a bit of nappy rash, then you've just got to take care of your body. Just got to take care of your body, and Sudocreme does it all. Yes, sir. Yeah, so always good. In fact, it says there, Dad's bathroom butt pot. So yeah, that's everything here. Now, as far as carrying all of my items, so I'll just stand up here for a second. Oh, of course, you know, so there's the Able Carry backpack that I'm also testing, but there are also several boonie hats. I've been here for a few days and have been using a new one every single day. They've all been awesome, in fact, and we'll have some more boonie hat content when I return back to old Blighty. Now, as far as luggage is concerned, level 8, so I did make some level 8 content a few weeks back, and they got in touch and they said, we remembered that you mentioned that you're going on holiday, would you like us to send you some more luggage? And of course I was like, yeah, that'd be great. Mrs. Morland made sure that she chose the colour. These come in a set of 3. This is the 28 inch. There is a 24 inch here, and there is also a 20 inch. Unfortunately, my daughter was travelling with 20 inch version, and they said this needs to go into the hold. Of course, they put it into the hold, they didn't take it out, and it ended up in Barbados, or anyway, somewhere. But they found it, don't worry, they have found it, and it's working its way back to Spain as we speak. So they can get back to us. So I can't show you the 20 inch now, but I'll show you in some images here so that you can see it. These are great, made with a super tough polyamide, and then on the outsides here on the corners you have these reinforced aluminium sections. The runners on here, I think level 8 have the smoothest runners and wheels that I've probably ever tried with any suitcase. They absolutely glide as though they're just, yeah, like it's gliding on ice over a lake. This is the 28 inch version. Mrs. Morland said this one is mine straight away. I've had the 24 inch. Brilliant, obviously splits into 2 halves. You can also stand this whilst it opens. It's a bit tricky, but you still can do. There are compartmentalized sides, so you can fit this side here on the left hand side. This is actually the largest one, only slightly, mainly because you have the runners in here for the grab handle. The grab handle's here at the top, or obviously you can see on this one, it's there at the top. Another beauty with the bags is choosing a bag that has one of these luggage pass-throughs. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. There we go, I did it while I was on there. But having a luggage pass-through is great. If you've been traveling for a long time, you need to take it off your shoulders, then at least you can attach it to the grab handle on your bag, and then you can ferry that around the airport. Yeah, these have been awesome. So as I mentioned, so that side's ever so slightly larger, but only really by maybe half a litre max, because as I say, you've got these 2 runners in here. You have another little retention strap here as well, so that you can batten down everything that's in here. You can do the same with this. So this flap here opens. We just have some travel documents in here at the moment, but this all opens up so that you can kind of set aside bits. Maybe it's, I don't know, when you're traveling back, you can have the stuff that's still clean against the stuff that isn't clean, and then all of the stuff that Mrs. Morland has bought whilst we're out here as well. So there you go, all neatly spaced out through my room. Now I'm just going to go back to this bag side. Let me just pick this up for one last second, because really this for me, especially for traveling, really is the most important part, and that is just something that you can keep with you at all times. I feel that a bag like this is worth its weight in gold. When you're traveling, it's incredibly useful to have a bag that has at least 2 compartments in there, so that you can compartmentalize, I know, your bag or your reading stuff and an extra shirt or something against all of your tech items, so that you can make it easy when going through security. Plus an extra tertiary bag. Oh, I forgot to mention the beauty of this as well, is you can just see how flat it is. So when I travelled with this, this was in the bottom of my suitcase, and then all of my clothes were on top of there. I get out, I take it out, and then I'm good to go. So there you go. I hope that helped. Some things, for me, I don't know whether they're common sense or not, if you've maybe not thought about this sort of stuff. I hope it helps you in the future if you are travelling. Yeah, just to reduce some of that anxiety, like I mentioned, about getting through security.
So there you have it. They're the things that I generally take away with me, whether it's business or whether it's pleasure, and hopefully it gives you some hints and tips. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, some people find travelling to be quite a difficult thing. Mainly the hardest part is getting through security and the worries that are there. So hopefully some of the tips that you've seen today will certainly help with that. If you're an anxious type that doesn't like to go through security, hopefully they'll help. Now I'll leave some links below. Some of the things that you've seen today I have already made some content on, and some of the things I've mentioned that I haven't made any content on yet, they will be out soon. But yes, I'll leave some of those links below so that you can see where you can pick up some of those items if you choose to. And whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're watching on Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC.
The ball on.